the sociopath. Oh, on, we are the harmless sociopaths. Oh, on with all the...
Sociopath. Yeah, you're cute. I was going to say, somebody wrote a song about me. Well, my girlfriend used to tell me I was all the time.
We're live.
Oh, shit. Right. Here we go. Mark Lalama? Damn, I'm getting spoiled today. Mark Lalama is our next guest. I'm just logging in here. Looks like we're a good go. Oh, he's hanging off in the wings, but we can catch you on the camera, Mark. Come on in, man. Really appreciate you coming in today. Mark Lalama. Hi, brother. I love you, man. Thanks for coming in. Take a seat. Get warm with that microphone.
Is this me?
I think so. That'll be great. So I'm Jim Fannon. We're going live all day on the hour. We're right on schedule, too, thanks to the Perpetual Peace Project that came in. CD Onofrio and James Durlow came in at 10 o'clock right on time. Sorted out some technical issues. Thanks to Chris Curry for producing in the background. Kat Augustine's taking some pictures. Paul Brady's doing what he does, looking sexy. He's a tech guy. I'm Jim Fannon. Thank you, man. I'm really pleased to have you in here today. I don't really know where to start, so let's just start with, well, thank you.
My
Number
pleasure.
one.
Thanks for asking.
My mother was such a huge fan of yours, and well, she loves the young, good-looking guys. And you know, I don't consider your brother that good-looking, but she loved Paul too. You know, she died 6 years ago, just way too early at 61 years old, misdiagnosed here in Niagara with cancer, but the wrong type. Wednesdays at Coppola's got to be a real creative outlet for her, and you know, a place that she could go that felt safe and wasn't the usual crowd of hangers-on and networkers and you know, lunch and learns and type of thing. So it was a real different crowd, and you had some vicious talent. I mean, a couple of those drummers you brought through. I mean, Richard Brown isn't that great on bass, but I mean, you've had
Rich
some
Moore,
Richard Moore, yeah.
Well, you know,
I poke fun, but you had some viciously deep, talented people for your gigs.
Yeah.
You played a long time there too. So tell us about
well,
that.
you know, the way it started was some 15 odd years ago, and my brother Paul said, you know, friends of mine have a restaurant, and they want us to play the opening. So I had just moved back to the region. I've been back here 18 years, and so. I said, yeah, we'll play the opening. I said, but
so that was the idea. You and Paul started that.
Me, Paul, and my brother Rob.
Oh, okay.
On drums.
Really?
So for me, it was I had just kind of moved back fresh, and we were just going to play the opening. But at that time, I wasn't doing any cover gigs. I was touring with different recording artists, and that was how I made my living. I was just touring with 4 or 5 different artists. Right. So I said, well, what are we going to play? What songs are we going to play? And Paul said, whatever, we'll just play what we played when we were kids, you know?
Really?
So we ended up playing that first night for 7 hours. We went in at 5 and we played till midnight. And you know, Jerry and Luigi Coppola,
they expect that every week. What, you're going to take a break? No, you go 7 hours. You went 7 hours last week.
So after that first opening, they said, well, you guys want to play here every week, like Wednesdays and Fridays? And I said, all right, we'll try for a couple months. We ended up playing for 5 years.
Wow.
Right, every Wednesday, Friday. And then I left. I couldn't do it anymore. Took a break for about 5 years.
Get burned out a little bit?
Well, no, I actually had to. I had
other
a
gigs.
television show. So
well, we'll talk about that a little bit too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I basically stopped playing for that whole stretch. I couldn't do anything else while I was on that show. And then about 4 years ago, I guess it was shortly after I made my first solo record. Davide DiRenzo on drums, Rich Moore on bass.
Wow.
Davide said, man, we got to play somewhere. And he said, I dare you to find us a gig. He goes, anywhere. Right now, Davide,
like a house band gig?
Davide's kind of like the drummer to the Stars, right, in Canada. He's he's like the most...
Now, he's the guy that, with the crazy expressions on his face, rolls his eyes back. And
everybody thinks he's blind because his eyes disappear. And, he's on everybody's record. Like,
wow.
He's on so many Juno
what a talent,
records.
too.
Yeah, so
And my drummer friends are coming out to see this guy,
Yeah.
like Damian Smith and one other, like
Oh, yeah.
big front row. Like this guy is a god.
This
to us.
guy's the guy. So the first time when we said we're going to start at Coppola's, and I put it on Facebook, and me, Davide, and Rich Moore, and I looked out at the audience. There must have been about 12 drummers just sitting there waiting. No, he's one of the few. He's kind of a famous drummer, right?
Wow.
Especially in Canada. So we ended up playing for 3 years. And what was cool about playing Coppola's, the restaurant, as you know, has that little sort of built-in nook
Right.
where the band sets up. Anyway, and it ended up being like a little mini concert every Wednesday night.
Right, and a couple booths right there were like VIP.
Yeah, and people would, we had our regulars, people would show up. One guy brought a sign. And it was
For
like
requests?
it was like a Toblerone sign. A triangle on one side said, "Shh, the band's playing," and then the other side says, "No cell phones." And then the third sign was way more rude, right? so he'd hold it up to the audience if he thought they were getting too loud. Right?
Wow.
It was great. So
Well, that's part of the problem you guys are constantly frustrated with, and Aaron Berger's coming on the show at 1 o'clock. He's here with Aaron Berger and the Blue Stars. The frustration of playing to a bunch of drunks that are not there to see you, that are
Right.
your background music,
Yeah.
and then, Yoga by Sarah's toyed with a couple of these intimate settings. Aaron Berger was one of them, and they did Berger, Blake, and Gould. It was, kind of a pass the hat. So they said, hey, we're not charging today, but they had 35 people in this tight little yoga studio, and the intimacy and the spirit of the performance transmutes right into the audience, and when you have 35 people that have come to see you and are not getting drunk at the bar and clanking and networking and all that kind of stuff, so you must have a little. It's probably like a little cross at Coppola's where there's a little bit of chatter in the background, but a lot of the people have come to see you, so it's probably a little bit of both there, right?
Well, we got to a point where the people that would come to see us said, "What are you doing here? Like, I feel guilty that I walk in for free and see this band, right?" And like seriously, like
You feel like the beautiful prostitute that John's saying, "What are you doing here?"
Well, it's like what's a sweetheart like you doing in a dump like this? No, that's a Dylan quote. It has nothing to do with Coppola's. We love Coppola's, and no. So what ended up happening was we did leave Coppola's. We haven't been there about a year and a half to start. I proposed a series to the Performing Arts Center,
right?
And basically, what I wanted
to hear.
The here, yeah.
Yeah.
So my concept is, I love playing a bar like a Coppola's. I love playing the intimate set. I've played every size venue, you name it, right? I've played that size. I've played arenas. I've played small venues. I love the intimate venues. So my pitch to the Performing Arts Center was, let's create a Sunday afternoon concert and keep it intimate, somewhere between 100 and 200 people, and it'll be where the band, like when you're playing in a small setting like that, week by week, musically, it gets so adventurous, right? You don't stick to any script. You don't stick to any arrangement.
Do you find that advances you further down the path of your musical talent too,
Well,
or is it more useful to?
Well, it advances your soul, right?
Okay, cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you don't edit yourself.
Right.
So the exercise is that whatever comes to mind, you play. If you hear doing something, go. You don't say, I'm not going to do that because it's not in this part of the song or something, right? So you just react to what you hear in your head, right?
Right.
So so I wanted to create that in a big venue. So that's what the here is. So it's the trio, Davide, myself, and Rich, and then we have 2 different guests each show. Right, and it's full production.
Yeah, and
full
you
lights.
went really local last year too with your whole series. Well, they're all female performers too. It just worked out that way, but
No,
it's the first series.
I mean, I try to mix it up. Like if the international guest is a male, my band's all guys. I mean, it's nice to have a female. If the international guest's a female, then I'll probably have a male guest. It doesn't always work out that. If I can do that, I think it's cool to have. Some female.
We'll talk
energy.
about the upcoming album in a bit, and we'll go back to Coppola's. But you're live tomorrow at the PAC. Is it
Live tomorrow, yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
you with?
Well, so the PAC started last January, and it was we had 4 concerts. That it was just a pilot project,
Right.
To
Sold
see
out,
if it
though,
would
didn't
work.
you? Most of them?
Yeah, every show sold out.
Okay. Are you reducing the capacity to make sure it sells out, or
No.
Cool.
So
That's a good deal.
they packed it as far as they could for the fire code. Okay. So I think we started about 150 seats. But it was brand new. You know, we didn't know if anybody would come, right? We didn't know if anybody was interested.
Well, that's your greatest fear too, right?
Yeah.
It's like having a birthday party and no one shows up.
Yeah, and so my trio is the featured artist as well as being the host. So we open the show, we play, and then we bring on a Niagara artist for 3 songs. We close the set, and then we take a break. We open the second half with a trio, and then we bring on an international guest. And then at the end, we all play an encore together. So every show sold out. We had Mark Jordan as a guest. We had Whitney P. We had Ian Thomas, Kevin Bright, Susie Vinnick, Beth Moore, Brittany Brooks, and Joe Lipinski. And then they extended us, so they loved it at the PAC. And they gave us 8 more shows. And the next block of 4 sold out before we even began the series. So all 4 shows sold out. So they started adding seats. They reconfigured the room. They added another 40 seats. The last week was Daniel Romano and Guido Basso. And they added 40 seats about a week before the show, and they sold those out as well. So,
You make any money off this, or they got you over a barrel with it?
am I making?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm making so much money. It's not even funny, man.
Well, you just figure, you know, it's a big venue. It's, you know, it's pretty ritzy, and you know, I
Oh,
know
they treat
it's
us
always
well.
tough, especially with the struggling artists, and you're more established than a lot of the guys that I roll with who actually have day jobs and struggle to make their music and produce it themselves, and you know, so I always feel like. You know, it's a risk, right, for these guys. They either need to go to a bar or to someone that's going to say, yeah, we'll bring you in and pay you some money. That's never all that lucrative. But to do what you're doing at the PAC, that's a big risk. That room, you know, to rent that room costs you thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah, well,
I know they say it's only $500, but then they charge you per chair and per technician.
Well, I don't know
and as soon as
anything.
they plug something-
I'm not producing the show.
Okay.
It's their series,
Cool.
right? I'm the musical director, whatever
Okay,
you want
great.
to call me. I don't know. I'm an accordion player from Welland that
Hey,
asks people to come.
Can we
and
edit
play.
that part out? He's not from Welland. Let's just skip that part, okay? No offense to Welland. I went to high school in Welland.
No.
I can talk shit.
No,
about
but
Welland.
it's the PAC series. It's not the Mark Lalama series. It's the Performing Arts Center. So I don't rent the room. I don't do anything like that.
Cool, man.
Basically, I'm working with them, and they're really an awesome partner.
Awesome. Now, we're going to hear a few tracks from the album coming up here. We got an hour with Mark Lalama. Wow, it's going so slow. I got 45 minutes left with this genius up here. So, Chris, what do you want to hear off the first track off the album? We'll take a short break.
I don't know. You want to go? You want to go energetic, or you want to go? You want to make everybody weep?
Yeah, let's start energetic. Why not? We're
Energetic?
past the PPP and the folky stuff, aren't we?
Well,
No?
I just
Okay.
finished this track. I can't even remember the numbers. Okay, let's try. Some of them are really like
Long ones?
some are really
Like
long,
long
like 8
jams?
minutes, 12 minutes. We get off on a rail,
Yeah.
But let's give you something. What number is? Where did we go? Do you see that on the list there?
Where do we go?
Oh, I'm really.
You got no.
No, you got no. Oh, I gave you a track sheet. Okay, let's go with number 1, 2, 3. Let's just. I don't know what it is. Let's just pick number 3.
Mark Lalama live in the Jim Fannon Show from Sessions on the River.
Okay. This
Get
is
down
called
here.
"Leave That Guy."
We're gonna keep the video up, but we'll.
This is live at Coppola's.
Cool. Mark Lalama, everyone.
Just edit that shit, right? If I told you that I want you, I can't live without you. My whole world's about you. Oh, baby, baby, would you leave that guy? Leave that guy. Leave that guy for me. If I told you that I love you, I put no one above you. All I do is dream of you, baby, baby. Would you leave that guy? Leave that guy. Leave that guy for me. Sha-la-la-la. 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 Sha-la-la-la.
one's heard this.
Leave that
No
guy.
one has heard this.
That's awesome.
No, this one they've heard because I posted a video. But
Promises,
How many tracks do you want?
promises, yeah.
That's up to you. We got an hour. I
Everyone
don't
got
want to
promises,
do
just
it.
words that
about
they
3, yeah,
think you
every
need
10,
to
15
hear.
minutes or something.
Money and
What do you want to hit?
fortune and fame, fame. That ain't no story. I got your glory here.
Songs, not the 12-minute or 8 songs. But I definitely want to hit. Maybe the last one we can play is track 11. It's called Beautiful. I left in the shoe.
Well, I mean, talking points. What do you want to talk about? We'll get the
Let's talk a
music.
little bit more.
Okay.
Let's talk about trio songwriting.
Okay, great.
For the last 3 artists who want to cover one song. My nephew did one, and then there's 2 other artists.
You want to talk about him?
2 other artists that want to cover the song.
His song? Okay.
My nephew covers my songs. So let's talk about the trio, the record coming out.
Okay.
And then the live stream of the album.
Okay. Cool.
Hey! I will mold your behavior. Never, never betray you. It's like I could be your savior. If you leave that guy, leave that guy, leave that guy for me. Baby, baby, leave that guy, leave that guy, leave that guy for me. Listen to me, I'd let you get down on your knees.
Do some
You
mentoring.
can beg me and plead. You can count all your rosaries, baby. If you leave that guy, just leave that guy. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la. Leave that guy for me. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la. Hey, leave that guy for me. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la. Hey, na-na-na. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la. Sing it, sing it. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la. One more time. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la.
All right, we're back. People are starting to fill in now. We got performers. Performers will be loading in the back door. That was Mark Lalama. From his forthcoming album, live from Coppola's. Honored to have you here, man. It's been a long
pleasure.
time coming.
Thanks.
We tried to get you on the last show and we couldn't make it work, so I really appreciate the time. We want to touch on the Niagara music scene. You know,
Yeah.
guys like you that have traveled around the world are aware that there's something really special here in Niagara that doesn't exist anywhere else. And, you know, I know we're kind of homers.
Yeah.
We're all, you know, frustrated by the small town mindset, I think. You know, I think lots of times we gravitate between I'll never live anywhere else and I can't wait to get the hell out of here.
I know.
But we have such a great quality of life. It's changing a little bit as we see, you know, our population expanding and prices going up in real estate and stuff like that. But I have many talented musicians, journeymen like yourself. I don't know if that's a bad term, but people that read, compose, can mentor session players that come in. Like Dano O'Shea. I love the idea of laying on a couch in Tennessee, waiting for the producer to call and go, the kid's flaming, stand by. Oh, he pulled it out. Don't worry about it. Or get down here, and he's got to be the one to say, sorry, kid, I'm going to play this album. Your name will still go on it. And I'm like, what? You can bring in session musicians? They're like, oh, yeah, the Stones did that all the time. I had no idea. So I'm fascinated by that. But these guys like Dan O'Shea and yourself that travel around really come back with information for me, and not being a musician, not getting around that much, that this is a special pocket of talent that doesn't exist anywhere else. Well,
I can't really speak to the other communities. I know that there's amazing scene in Hamilton. There's amazing scene in Winnipeg. There's what I think is universal across the country is there are people who love to play music, and as soon as someone has the courage to be themselves, as a writer, as a performer, as soon as Jim Fannon is going to perform tonight, and if Jim knows who he is and knows what he wants to say, and doesn't care how somebody else does it. He's not trying to sound like someone else. He has the courage to be himself because he's the best at being Jim in the world. Then you get some real magic, right?
And I am performing tonight. Nobody knows that yet, but I am performing tonight.
So that's the thing, let's really celebrate the individual story. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a journey. So as a writer, as a performer, it's your job, right, to expose your story. Be authentic, period. If you're not authentic, then next,
Right.
So that's the thing. It's like, if you're not you, you're boring. Be you. You're not. If you're really you, you're not boring, right? So in Niagara, and I've had this conversation with a lot of. I just had this conversation last night with a local songwriter, and we were talking about struggle, and part of the creative process is struggle. It's a result of struggle. World famous songwriter.
Mental struggle.
Well, look, I've actually
put it down on paper.
You think of the greatest music in the last 100 years in the pop world has come from
out of heartbreak, tragedy,
from Black Americans,
love,
right? Yeah. I've had I actually quote. I won't say who said this, but in a very odd way. I mean, the struggle, like the songs that came out of slavery, right, were like it's a terrible, terrible thing to bring up. But what it illustrates is struggle, right, creates this beautiful art, right? And the condition, uses art. That's why music is not entertainment, just entertainment. It's essential, it's essential for your soul to live, right?
It's like food and water.
It is, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how people get through the toughest times. So it's not just go up there and shake your booty, It's go up there and make a human connection, a heartfelt
It's funny, and I wonder, and I constantly encourage people to communicate this to the performers, that your music changed my life. And it's funny to hear you say, that got me through the hard times. And some of my friends, they give thanks for the hard times and for the heartbreaks and for the tragedies. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I've had fucking enough hard times.
Yeah.
I don't need any more. Yeah. And just appreciating that this is the human condition, and this is what it is to be human, to have feelings and to celebrate that. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yes.
Worse yet, indifferent, I guess. So it's interesting to hear you talk about it as a coping mechanism. But for us, some of these songs, and from a number of different artists, and it's so cool that so many of them are local now. I still got my 21 Pilots I go off on, or my USSs or whatever, that really get me fried as far as I call it the pre-game beats. Hey, you're going out to a performance, you need to don't, Lust for Life or something, that theme song, right? So it's interesting to hear you talk about coping with music when I don't think you guys are always present to the impact that it has on us and how we cope through your music and our interpretation of it, which is never. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't get it right. I mean, sometimes like some of my favorite songs, my buddy will go, well, I don't even. That's the silliest song I've ever written. I don't even know what it means.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And I'm like, well, it means something to me. I already mean it means something.
Yeah, well, and that's why when somebody asks me, well, what's that song about? And I say, I don't know. What's that song about? Because
perfect answer.
Because I'm more interested in what they think it's about than maybe what I had in mind as I wrote it. So, and I love it. I played this week, and Susan the Glucard was in the audience, and she's the Inuit singer, and Juno award-winning, and she came up right after the show and said, "What was that last song?" And
where can I get
said,
it?
"That's a song called Beautiful." She goes, "I want it, right?" So it instantly hit a chord, right, with her. She goes, "I might want to put some Inuit lyrics to it as well."
Oh, she wants to.
She wants it on her next record.
Wow.
Right?
And that's going to be the most flattering thing ever.
Yeah,
when somebody like that comes up to you and says, oh, "That's got to be on my album."
Yeah. So for me, the last 3 years that we did at Coppola's was a weekly. I felt like I had to pinch myself to be able to play with Rich and Davide. Like, these are two guys that are at the top of their game, and they're in so much demand, internationally with artists. And so every Wednesday we got to set up, like in this corner, like as close to me to you.
Yeah.
So I was so motivated to write new songs. I would rush to get new songs finished, every week or every 2 weeks. And I had this total, productive period where I wrote about 20 songs.
The flash of creative genius is
oh
just
man,
flowing.
I was so inspired. So
cool.
like that song "Beautiful" that I just mentioned. Maybe we'll play that next, I guess, since I'm talking about it. But that came out, and people that would come every week, they would be crying. Like, it's a real, very personal song. So
wow.
And they'd ask me what it's about, and I said, I don't know.
Well, do you find that you try to keep the mystique, the mystery of it a little bit?
Yeah.
And, it's like, back in the day, for me, it was Pink Floyd. They didn't do any interviews. They didn't talk about the meaning of their music. Yeah, sometimes you get the lyrics, but that's another thing that frustrates me with the local guys, because when I Shazam it, a lot of times it's not there. And, when I Shazam anything, the lyrics are beside it. I want to know what the hell you're saying, man. So
yeah. I always wrestle with that, like, how much should you give away?
Yeah.
And how much, because honestly, some songs I don't even know what it's about.
Yeah.
But I'm writing the song, and you're on this thread.
it's about paying the bills. It's about putting bread on the table.
Yeah, man. Yeah. To pay my taxes quick. No, but it's like you don't know, and I think that's part of the mystery too. Because look, mathematically, every song is already written, right? So you think about it mathematically, every single combination of chords, notes.
You mean it's already been written?
It's done.
Been done before?
No.
I see. It's
think
done.
about it in
It's
retrospect.
in the ether.
Yeah, it's in the ether.
You just have to receive it.
Yeah, because as far as the notes, the chords, the rhythms, like it would take, I don't know what the equation would be, and the lyrics matching all that. It's already done. So as an artist, as a writer, you can find those combinations, put them back together, and you call it yours. But mathematically speaking, it's already written, right? So I think as an artist,
to hear it described in mathematical terms.
Yeah, I'm not a math guy, but if you give me a second, I'll come up with the equation. And, but it's like I try. I don't really take it that personal. Like, oh man, I just wrote this badass song. It's already done. It's up to me to find it, to discover it,
Wow.
to get out of the way so that I can hear it or receive it.
Seems
right?
like a common theme. CD was just saying the same thing. I carve on these guys all the time. These free spirits, these hippies. This, but he talks about the same thing we talked about with CD. A brain is the sending and receiving device.
Yeah.
And if you think that genius, that flash that comes into your mind that you're not sure where it came from your mind, you're sadly mistaken, because it's being downloaded from the Ethernet, from the oversoul, from that giant hard drive in the sky type of thing,
Yeah. I mean, we just kind of get our human self out of the way,
Yeah,
just
cool. Mark Lalama is my guest. Chris, you got Beautiful. It might be track 11. We're going to hit a couple more songs off of Mark Lalama's upcoming album, Live from Coppola's.
Yeah, so Coppola's, I'll just explain it to you. So we're set up in this little corner. There's no stage.
Yeah.
You walk into that place, you you definitely don't say, "Wow, there should be a band in that corner." There's no place for a band. There's no lights. It's kind of like, you know, I don't know. So we set up our.
You recorded this at Coppola's as well?
Yeah. So we had Drew Williams. He set up, I think, 8 mics.
So this is a one-shot deal?
This
night?
Yeah, 2 nights. We recorded over 2 nights. And Mike Enns came with a film crew and videotaped it. I think we did
Mike
4
Enns,
cameras. And this is, then I mixed it at my studio. And
nice.
And this is it. So
Mark Lalama live from
track
Coppola's.
11.
Chris, hit us up, brother.
This is called Beautiful, yeah.
Beautiful. Nice. Still got 25 minutes left. It's going good, eh?
Yeah.
Will you live long enough? Will you realize all of your dreams? Will the colors that you like come back in time? I can't answer what you ask. My thoughts are slow. This world is so fast. But there's a thing or two that I know is true. If you live long enough, you will be strong, you will be brave, you will be broken, you will fall down, you will walk tall, you will be lonely, you will lose faith, you will get lost, yeah, you'll be a loser, yeah, you will tell lies, you'll be untrue, and you'll be forgiven, yeah. You will be torn, damaged and scarred, and you will be beautiful. You will be beautiful. In a dream that I was dead, my soul rose up, flew right through my head. Looking down, I saw a grave in a field of green, so green, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, will you live long enough to be beautiful?
Welcome back. I am Jim Fannon. This is the Jim Fannon Show, live from Sessions on the River. The bar's open. I think I'm cutting myself off until after the radio show, but yeah, we're doing a little shitty political talk show from 3 to 6. We got some great guests though. The Green Party of Ontario leader Mike Schreiner's here. Greg Vesna, a buddy of mine, chairman of Hydrofuel. Did you know you can burn ammonia? And the exhaust is water vapor. What the hell are we doing? And then Gord Miller, just a stud friend of mine, former Ontario's environmental commissioner for 15 years, is making the trek down from the Kawarthas. That was a song by Mark Lalama. He's sitting with me now. Chris Curry's running the board. Thank you very much. We are live from Sessions on the River. Get your ass down here. And Keith Bellamy, shout out to Bellamy. He says, can you read the comments? I'm like, yeah, I read the comments, dude. He's not performing, but he's asked about Boogeyman of Helms Ave. Talk about Welland. East Sider. French, Italian East Siders, or maybe 3-chord song, dude.
Oh, so he's talking about my first record, and Boogeyman of Helms Avenue. Actually, I wrote it when I was 10. I was 10 years old.
Child prodigy?
No, well,
runs in the family, maybe.
See, my cousins lived on Helms Avenue, right beside my grandparents, right? And so they lived, side by side on Helms, and then
side by each is how you say it.
Is that how you say it? Yeah. Well, not if you're from Welland, you say side by side. And around the corner was St. Mary's Church. It was a cool area of Welland. But the way that song Boogeyman of Helms Avenue came about, my cousin Eddie was 5 years old. I was 10. I had, at the time, 3 brothers. The youngest, Paul, wasn't born yet. And Eddie had 2 brothers, and he had to get his tonsils out, and he was really scared. So we all sat him down, all his brothers and his cousins.
Continued to freak him out.
And we said, Eddie, it's so easy. Don't worry about it.
You're comforting him.
Yeah, we're comforting him. We said,
this is how that I know.
No, this is a Lalama comfort, Welland comfort. So we said, it's easy. They're going to bring you into the hospital room. They're going to lie on the table, and they're going to chop your head off. And then they're going to take your head, they're going to put your head to the side, and they're going to take out your tonsils, and then they're going to get your head, and they're going to sew it back on. And then we said, but the only problem is they never get it back on the same way. So it might be tilted one side, it might be looking down. And so he looked at us, and he just cried and cried. So we chased him, making fun of him, and we sang the Boogeyman of Helms Avenue. We made up this song,
So Keith Bellamy follows it up with a question here on live stream. You can, you're watching right now. It says, okay, so the question was, who was the Boogeyman of Helm Street? So I guess that was you and Eddie.
Well, the Boogeyman is this fictional monster that we used to make Eddie cry and cry. So even to this day,
you're teasing.
So Eddie's like Eddie would be 48 now, but I remember playing the Grape and Wine. It was 10,000 people, and we're just about to play the Boogeyman, and I called him on my cell phone, and I was explaining to the audience, I'm going to call Eddie, and we can make him cry, because he still cries to this day when I play the Boogeyman of Helms Avenue.
Mark Lalama is my guest. I'm Jim Fannon. We're live from Sessions on the River. Thanks to Chris Curry for putting this on and producing it. Performers are starting to load in. People are starting to get in here. And we got a liquor license, so you can have a little taste, a little nip while you watch your favorite bands. Coming up next, we got Aaron Berger and the Blue Stars. He's running a little bit late, but he's also bringing the food. Thank you to Wellington Court Restaurant. Eric Peacock, Ale and Dale Peacock, huge fans of that establishment. I know you know it well. Wow, one of the best restaurants in town, and this show is brought to you exclusively by Wellington Core Restaurant, because I didn't get out and sell it. Oh, more rock stars in the house. I'm Jim Fannon. He is Mark Lalama. Tell us more about the Here Here.
Yeah, the Here Here night.
Coming up tomorrow night, and that's...
Tomorrow afternoon. It's one Sunday a month, perfect. 4 p.m.
Okay, so normally I would have you grinding out a tune. But you've got these, you call them a blackout clause. I thought it was radius clause, whatever, but it says that... Is
that the line I
don't know.
It was just a little early for me to play it. But if I told you that, then we'll go with it.
So you can catch them tomorrow. 1 o'clock, you sold out for that?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, sorry.
They added extra seats. Last I heard, there was about 8 seats left.
What are tickets going for?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't buy them. I think I know there's a group discount if you buy, like most people buy all 4.
Okay.
You know,
Oh, the
four
shows.
I
Yeah.
think it's like $120 for 4 shows.
Oh, that's a great deal.
It's an amazing deal, you know. So last week we started this leg of the series with Gregory Hoskins and Ariana Gillis were our guests, and then we had Guido Basso, Order of Canada. He's on hundreds of albums. Guido Basso and Daniel Romano,
Right.
just an amazing artist. And then tomorrow we have Janie Grand and Wendell Ferguson, who's Wendell is a country guitar player, songwriter. He's in the Country Music Hall of Fame. He's just he's played with everyone from Gordon Lightfoot to Shania Twain, Dixie Chicks. You know?
You must have built up a whole lot of goodwill out there by, you know, being a talented musician, but probably more just being a decent human being. So
Decent's the word.
When you just above average, how I describe it. But no, I mean, when you call a guy like Davidoff or whoever you're calling, it must be really gratifying to have that support of guys who are like, damn, straight, I'll be on your album, or yeah, I'll do that show. Or,
well, the response has been amazing for the Here. It's most people, if they're free, they want to do it, and it's actually, the more we do it, the more it kind of has its own legs, and people hear about it, and I get tons of emails, and I'm trying to fit everybody in, but you know, from people who want to be a part of the series. So, but part of the challenge is to slot the 2 guests that are kind of complementary to each other. So it makes a cohesive show, right? I just don't want to kind of throw people together that have nothing to do with each other. You know?
So where do you get your gratification from? I know that, you know, CD was just up here and he's like, dude, I don't think I've really actually nailed one. You know, and I think we struggle as human beings is celebrating our successes and say, hey, yeah, I nailed that one. That's good enough for me. That's enough for the world. And for me, you know, whether it's a political campaign or it's doing a shitty radio show, when somebody comes up and goes like, thank you, like you made a difference for me. That's what, but I'm not a performer. So where's some of the, I know this is, I can see you going deep into the data bank there as far as the answer goes, but what is most gratifying for you performing live?
Well, first of all, I can't be responsible for how the audience receives it, how they choose to receive it. So my responsibility kind of goes, you know, right to the tip of the stage,
to the edge of the stage.
So first and foremost, I have to be honest with myself. When I'm performing the song, I have to give myself completely to the lyrics, to the story of the song. So I'm serving that song 100%. And beyond that, it's my band, right?
The responsibility to the band, too.
Right. So I have to be completely honest with...
We use that word authentic, too. Yeah.
Authentic. So these lyrics were written, even though I wrote them, you know, at a different point in my life. The songs that I'm performing now are songs that mean something to me, right? So I have to get back into that frame of mind when I wrote that song. When I sing those words, it has to be like it's the first time I've ever sung those words. I have to be in that mindset of a point of discovery, right? So that these words actually mean something. And I have to be completely honest and not throw in anything fancy for the sake of being entertaining. And that's my responsibility to the song and to the guys I'm playing with, right? So if I can start, because, you know, if I can start that kind of attitude, then I hope it wears off with the guys in the band. And the guys in my band, I don't ever have to worry about them. Like that's the thing about a band, is you have to have 120% trust, right? So if we can start from that point of authenticity, of honesty and egolessness, right? It's all about the song, right? Then I think if it's honest, then people will feel something from it.
I like the way you said get out of the way, and ego really speaks to that, because so many times our ego gets jammed right up in front of us so we can't see anything else, and I really appreciate those comments. So,
but I mean, you know, I'm not talking about all the years, you know, like everybody, the years of learning your instrument and the years of getting to a point where you don't think about your instrument, right? It's just a tool. right?
So when you're on stage, you got to kind of be on airplane mode where there's no distractions. The chalkboard has been wiped clean. You know, your eyes are rolled back in your head, and you're just engrossed in the sound and the feel and the meaning and all of it. Eh?
Yeah, I think every front man probably goes through the same decision-making process. Like either you have to look at your audience. You can think of it, you want to make a connection. So maybe it's by eye contact. You're going to look at your eyes. Or you say, you know, right now I'm so inside that you are just an object of observation, right? So because sometimes audiences would rather see you totally lost. They just want to be witness to that.
Right.
So that's like I've heard people say, well, make sure you open your eyes when you sing to your audience. And I don't think there's rules like that. I think if you're an honest artist, then if you truly get the ego out of there, then whatever you feel like doing, you should do.
Move.
Right?
Let the music move you.
Yeah. If you want to look at someone while you're singing, perfect. I mean, I've done it so many times where if I'm singing sort of a love song, I'll pick a woman that I don't know, right, at all, because now it's something new for me, and I'll really try to sing to her, and I could look at her for the whole song. I don't know who the hell it is.
Make women crazy. I want to be that guy.
But you know,
sing one to me, man.
But it's like,
and so for me, the show tomorrow.
So there's a magic that happens because for me it's a little uncomfortable, but I force myself to look at her, you know, and it's gonna, you know, and I'm cool, and I'm trying to make a connection on like a one-on-one. It's so these are games I think that every performer does, right?
Yeah.
But I've never actually said that to anyone before.
And we're hearing some music for the first time. It's a world premiere. Mark Lalama is my guest. It's Jim Fannon Show. We're live from Session. It's on the river. The bar's open. I don't see anyone with a drink in their hand. It's been a long day. We've been here since, early this morning. Mark Lalama, really happy to have you on the show. For just a little bit about the TV show. Tell me,
I don't know anything about it, so let me know what you did there.
It was Canadian Idol. I'm assuming that's the one you're talking about. Okay.
So you've done others?
Yeah, I've done
Canadian Idol being the one that
that's
brought you
the
a
big
lot of
one. That was
notoriety.
the number one show. In
You
the
were
country.
music director?
No, so
Okay.
House
band.
It was on the air for 6 years.
Wow.
For the first 2 years, I was a studio musician. There was no live band for the first couple of years.
Oh, so you
Actually, for the first 4 years. So I would be in the studio.
Doing the bumper music.
Doing the recorded tracks, like the karaoke tracks that the singers would sing to.
Oh.
So I would play, whatever, keys.
Right.
And then on the show, you'd see the singer alone on stage singing, right?
Right.
In the third season, they asked me to be the on-air piano player. So they always had a piano player. They had 2 other guys before me. And then the third season, they asked me to be the piano player. So it was in the top 20 segment of the show. So they had 20 singers, and they would come out and sing with a piano player. And so that was me. So
cool.
So I did that for the last 4 years of the show. And then they started introducing a live band, so I was in the live band. But also behind the scenes, myself and the vocal coach were the mentors for the singers. So we would have a one-on-one session, I think 2 or 3 times a week. So they would have to take a song, and we'd have to edit it down, a musical arrangement that would last about 1:20, depending on what the producers told us that week. Mm-hmm. So you have to edit the song so you get a verse, chorus, try to make an effective arrangement, but it only lasts 1:20, for example, right? And so it was a big process, and we had, it was a really cool experience, really cool experience.
Cool, man. Well, I couldn't be more honored to have you on, man. It's been a long time coming. We wanted to do this a couple of years ago for the other shows, and I know you're busy as hell, so thank you very much. We're going to actually go out with a tune here as well. Chris, are you okay to bring us out with a tune? Aaron Berger and the Blue Stars are up next, but my thanks to Mark Lalama for spending some time with us here. He's playing tomorrow at the Pack. You can get some tickets. Song 5, Chris. Get some tickets for his 4 o'clock show called the First Ontario.
The Here Niagara Music Series at the.
Here's Yoga by Sarah. My friend's still a sponsor over there.
What's that?
Yoga by Sarah. She's
Yoga by Sarah. Yeah, awesome. Yep. And the Peanut Mill.
Cool, Peanut Mill, all organic. Mark Lalama is my guest. Thank you so much. What's the song called, Mark?
It's called Where Did We Go?
Where Did We Go? We're coming back with Aaron Berger and the Blue Stars. Stay tuned. I'm Jim Fannon.
got no choice. We're all born naked.